one of the neat things about crafting to me, there's no right and wrong. You know, it's kind of develop what you want to do. Some of you guys do some of this stuff. You know, Jody does horns, forge work, carving, and that's one of the neat things to me is you can kind of create your own methods and make it work for you and end up with a result that looks good. And you know, in the case of these bags, if you build these things right, it'll last longer than any bus will. You know, there are historical examples out there that have survived hundreds of years, and you know, varying degrees of wear in there imparted, but generally speaking, you know, again, if you go through the time to kind of do this the right way, it'll last a lifetime. And that's, you know, another neat thing to me. This day and age we live in is, you know, this throwaway society. We order something on Amazon, it's sitting on the doorstep in 24 hours or less. When it goes bad, you throw it away and you get on Amazon again. One of the things that fascinates me about history is back, you know, hundreds of years ago, people built things to last out of necessity. You know, when they did have a problem, they fixed it or made another. So just some of the things that, again, kind of draws me to this. But anyway, appreciate you coming out here. We're going to make what I call a hunting or shooting pouch. We'll talk a little bit about that here real quick. Everybody's heard the word possibles bag, the term possibles bag. If you talk to some of these guys that are really into the, you know, living history, they're going to kind of roll their eyes at that term. So that's a term, I guess, that's kind of been created, you know, in the 70s of the resurgence of the muzzleloading movement and everything. To me, I don't get wrapped up. You can call it whatever you want. My wife would tell you it's a purse. I don't necessarily like that, but that's what she calls it. So what we're going to focus on today is a basic shooting or hunting pouch, something that would have been used basically to carry the things you needed to keep that gun going on a hunting trip, a trek, whatever that was. Typically speaking, they were not real large historically. This would be a kind of a small version, but this would be more like a haversack. Things you would carry, some food staples, your flint and steel, you know, maybe a knife, that kind of thing. Again, this is a little bit small for that, but that's basically the design. But as far as hunting and shooting pouches, they were pretty small. I mean, this thing's probably 8 inches tall, 6 inches across maybe. And, you know, again, you're going to carry in there maybe an extra flint or two, some lead balls, patches, and just the things to keep that gun going. So that's kind of what we're going to do. I'll let you guys pass this around. This was one that I did for the video that we shot back here at the fall shoot. That's basically the kit. All those components were cut using the same pattern as what we're going to do today. It's obviously had some work done with the dye and whatnot, but just a simple pouch. And that's what we're going to be doing today. It's the one we're making here is going to be made out of vegetable tan leather. Historically, these things would have been made with anything from game that was taken and, you know, either bark or brain tan to, you know, the hide from the cow you just slaughtered to sustain your family. So there's, again, no right or wrong answer. Historical examples have been found and still exist that have been made from a number of different types of leather. This one is readily available. It's commercial tanned. I don't tan anything on my own so far. I'd love to try bark tan, brain tan, but that's kind of an idea of what we're going to end up with. So that's your two main panels. They're going to basically constitute the body of the bag. And then you've each got a piece of this thin strip. That's going to be a welt. Basically what that does is add some strength to the seam, to the stitching, and then it also helps it just achieve some additional rigidity. Some of the bags that are found that you see in museums, and guys are lucky enough to have them in their personal collections, a lot of those that date back into, you know, the 18th century have that welt. Again, it just adds an element of strength and overall rigidity to the construction. Then you've got a pocket. A lot of bags back then had them, some didn't. Again, it's kind of a personal choice. We're going to put it in these just because I think it's a handy feature. You can throw small stuff in there and kind of keep it from getting mixed in with the rest of the bag and your contents there. Then you've all got a strap. Basically, these straps, again, would have been made out of what people had available, anything from cotton webbing to finger woven, you know, iterations. We're going to use a leather strap. It's durable. It'll last forever. And if you'd like, we'll make them adjustable. We've got buckles here. These are all forged by a friend of mine in Ohio, John Rader. Two different kinds. There's a round that basically will keep the, what I call the tag into that belt secure. We've got these regular D-shaped buckles. And if you use that one, we'll do a little something different there to keep that belt from swinging as we get toward the end of the project. You guys can choose which one of those you want and just pass them down. So the plan here is we're going to go through this, try to get everything dyed and ready to assemble prior to lunch. And then we're going to do lunch, take a little break there, and then when we come back, we'll stitch this thing together and walk away hopefully with a finished bag that'll last you guys forever. Anybody have any questions or anything so far? No? Okay. So one of the things about this vegetable tan leather, it's stiff. I mean, you can take those pieces and probably hold them out in front of you and they don't even budge. What I do, and I'll kind of pass these around, is what I call break that high. You know, you've probably seen the videos, guys doing spray tan, bark tan, will actually pull this stuff over a log, or I've seen backs of chairs used. You're basically softening that leather, making it a little more pliable, making it a little easier to work. So that'll be the first thing we start doing once we get rolling here, is to just kind of break that hide to soften it up. Did I leave those color sheets?
Yeah, they're right here.
Yeah, so you guys can kind of, oh, they've already been around? So you guys can get an idea. That's the dyes that I brought. I mentioned to some of them that were here earlier. You can achieve a lot of different variations on that. That's straight out of the bottle, just thrown on the same leather you've got in front of you. Depending on how much you thin that and how you apply it, and we'll talk about all that, you can achieve a lot of different looks from, you know, fairly straightforward, like the one I showed you here. You can kind of see this one is intentionally made to look like it's old. You know, you kind of concentrate it, splotch it, like might have been typical for, you know, one that had been used for 10, 20, 30, 50 years, perhaps. That's kind of the look I try to go for on a lot of my bags is that aged look. And again, we'll kind of talk about the details on how you can make that happen with the dye. Working on what I was saying, breaking that hide. Basically what I do is fold it smooth surface, just over and over, different directions. It takes a little bit of time. It's kind of like folding corrugated cardboard when you start. And then once you, you know, start to get through that piece in all the directions, it'll start to soften up. And you know, a lot of times what I'll do once I get that initial step done is actually just take this stuff up like you're wadding up a piece of paper. It's going to stretch a little bit. It's going to distort a little bit. No big deal. That's natural and part of the process, really. So if you guys want to just take a minute, like I say, and kind of, and really the sharper you crease that, the softer, the more pliable it'll become.
Mm-hmm. Here, do that one. Put her to work.
Yeah, the size and shape of the bag we're doing today, it's not terrible even if you don't, but I can tell you when you start doing some of those that are flared out at the bottom, those small heart-shaped bags, you know, wow. It'll test your patience getting those things turned. A lot of the old guys, I mean, T.C. Albert, a guy that's got several books out, he writes for Muzzleloading magazine just about every month. You know, he'll tell you put them in a 5-gallon bucket of water to turn them. I've done that. I don't know, just something about taking what I just spent so much time to, you know, stitch and dye and dunking in a bucket of water just doesn't seem right to me, but it works.
Does the water change the dye at all, or is it totally
No,
bad?
this is, what we're gonna use is an alcohol-based dye.
Okay.
There's water-based dyes out there. I can't stand them. They don't stay on the leather. You know, for stuff that I'm gonna be taking outdoors, I'm just not a fan.